Hello everyone, I am Shinlu A. Lyric, and in this topic, I am along with Glory Figandoy and Zaiba Gulahab. Our topic is all about e-business organization. When we're talking about e-business or electronic business, it is a process that a business organization conducts over a computer-mediated network. It includes any profit, governmental, or non-profit entity. Their processes include production, customer, and internal or management-focused business processes. So we're moving on organizational design. There are three main design choices considered when selecting an organization structure. Organization structure reflects the way information flows within a company and how tasks are assigned and supervised. The first main design in selecting an organization structure is the reporting lines. This pertains to which level within the hierarchy the e-business organization should sit. In other words, who should the e-business head report to? Examples is the planning and evaluation officer reports to the head of planning and evaluation department. The next is the dedicated functions. The extent to which there are dedicated supporting functions for a business, such as supply chain, digital marketing, and the degree to which these functions sit within a separate e-business team. The last is the outsourcing. It is the extent to which particular functions, such as online store preparations, are outsourced to a third party or trusted partners. Examples are marketing, workplace, warehouse cleaning, and website development. Factors to consider in selecting an organizational model. There are four broader factors a company should consider when selecting an organizational model. First is complexity of business. It categorizes a consumer goods company placed in an extent to which it operates across the same consumer segments will significantly influence the choice of organizational model. The second is the maturity of e-commerce. Those consumer goods companies that grow up in the digital age will tend to have flatter organization structure with all operation in-house, since they have built those capabilities from the start. Whilst those who embraced e-commerce later are more likely to still rely on outsourcing and will position e-commerce roles at a higher level in order to attract more senior talent to kickstart the e-commerce business. The third is the size and ambition for e-commerce business. Consumer goods companies where e-commerce makes up a significant portion of total sales and or have strong ambition to grow e-commerce may be more likely to move more towards an integrated organization model rather than separating e-commerce into its own dedicated business function. As e-commerce becomes a significantly more important part of the business, the whole company will need to become more digitally minded and cannot afford to isolate its digital talent. Lastly, the company culture. Companies that promote a more collaborative culture and transversal ways of working will naturally come together and take a more multifunctional approach to the major e-platforms without necessarily needing to be organized in this way and hence may prefer to retain the more traditional model. The examples are Facebook, Google, Twitter, and others.
Hello everyone, my discussion is all about the dimensions of e-business organizations. The dimensions of e-business organization is to be competitive and to maintain the sustainability. An e-business must be considered values from all seven dimensions. First, the organization's leadership, people and culture, coherence, knowledge, audiences, and governance. The fact that there are seven organizational dimensions retires one of the most visible relics of the command and control hierarchical organizations model, to the organizational chart. Organization structures. In place of a bureaucratic hierarchical structures, companies should form more flexible, decentralized, teams and alliance-based organizations that enable employees to respond immediately to opportunities and competitive advantages around the globe. An organizational structure defines how activities such as tasks, allocations, coordinations, and supervisions are directed toward the achievement of organizational aims. For example, a pyramid-shaped organizations that consists from the top. Example, the CEO or the manager, then the down example entry-level or low-level employees, and each employee has a supervisor. Leadership. A leader will create others leaders within the organization's disciples of a sort who are empowered to act. It creates an environment and world management strengths through achieve change and cascade leadership throughout the organizations. For examples, a leader can be leading by accompanying the marketing team on a field visit to popularize the company's product. The leader should be pitch clients the same way the marketing staff is doing, and this will be boost the overall morale of the team. People and culture. The rapid pace and nearly infinite opportunity of e-business will test the limits of companies, people strategies, and corporate culture. As digital technologies take over more routine administrative duties performed by employees.
Coherence. Coherence is a shared sense of directions that allows a corporation to be greater than the sum of its parts. In a line organization, objectives are clear, roles and responsibilities are well defined and delegated, and the right things are accurately measured and rewarded. The example of coherence are topic sentence, key terms, defined terms, and clear translations. There are the example of coherence. Knowledge. Knowledge is the best set of understanding used by people to make decisions or take actions that are important to company. Knowledge is an increasingly valuable and differentiating asset, one that will in due time be recorded on company's balance sheet. The example of knowledge is learning the alphabet, having the ability to find a location, and remembering details about an event. There are the example of knowledge. Alliance. Alliance are excellent way to secure immediate access to those differentiating capabilities. In the new extended enterprise, companies will form alliances not only to bridge capabilities and geographic gaps, but also to create new value and outsource competitive services. These alliances will be run more autonomously with dedicated resources. The example of alliances is Starbucks and Target partnership and several times. There are the example of alliances. Governance. Governance is the traditional top-down internally focused governance structure of the past is yielding to a more distributed model in that incorporate both internal and external scrutiny. Under this new model, the board performs an active advisory role and also acts as a normal body. The example of governance is the mayor decisions and the government or administrations. There are the example of governance.